Hi and welcome to Lifestyle League. My name is Mafokate and I'm chilling with the life coach for a change, guys. A life coach. Osis Boby Nkoana. Dumelang.
Lekay?
Reten lekay?
Reteng. Thank you for having me. Rona.
Yeah,
Thank you for
because I
having
heard
me.
the Nkoana and I'm thinking, that's petty.
Yeah.
Lekay mar.
Rona lekay.
Rona re
Rona.
phedile.
Thank you for having me.
Re leboga sis Boby. You've got such a beautiful voice. No wonder you got into TV and radio and all these things.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Or is it the voice of a life coach?
A voice of a speaker.
Oh,
yeah.
speaker.
So speaker can be in radio, TV, anyway.
So you
can
do
call it a life
most of motivational speaking and all those things.
I don't like the word motivational. You can say speaker.
Why don't you like the word motivational?
Because most people say motivational speakers are frauds. Like they say things they don't practice. They don't practice what they preach. So I'm a speaker. Yeah.
So a speaker, a politician can be called a speaker?
No.
Yeah, I agree. They speak.
Okay, say a mind speaker.
I look at Julius. Julius is an orator.
Oh, okay.
And do you call him a speaker or not?
Okay, let's say mind speaker. Let's
Mind
end it
speaker.
there. Yeah.
Mind speaker. Why mind?
Because I'm a life mind coach.
Okay.
I focus on the mind. I believe the mind is the source of all creations. The life we're living now, it was created through our thoughts. So this is what I do. I empower women through that. You know, most people empower them through anything, but I decided to focus on the mind because the mind builds your life. You're
You
who
know
you
what
are today
worries
because
me?
of that. Yeah.
I was excited, looking forward to this interview, saying, I'm going to meet this life coach. But then she says, I empower only women. Why only women?
I believe when you empower women, you know, women, we are nurturers, right? We were given God's wisdom. So when you empower a woman will empower everybody. It's not the same with men. We are given a specific wisdom. When you empower a woman, the woman will empower the child, the man, the brother, the sister, the whole community, and it expands.
You know, honestly speaking, on a serious note,
Yeah.
I always thought life coaching is about coaching a human being. So I didn't even know that you can actually separate and look at the gender. Why is there gender association when it comes to life coaching?
For me, actually, I coach everybody. I'm even a kids coach, but I focus more on women because women expand things. You know, women are multipliers. If you don't empower women, the world won't be multiplied. Things won't be, updated. Things won't grow. So when you empower that source, the woman is a source. In family, she expands everything. You know, she grows everything. She raises the kids. She cooks. She does everything. So I'm not saying I empower only women, everybody, but my concentration is the person that has that wisdom.
Why the woman?
Because women have wisdom. They have a divine wisdom that God gave to them to change the world.
Wouldn't you say because they can afford to pay such things? You know, guys wouldn't want to pay for such things.
Everybody would pay, but I'm glad you said that. Guys wouldn't pay for.
Life coaching.
So you so a man. That's what I'm saying. A man cannot.
Hence,
multiply.
I said you disappointed me because I was looking for a free life coaching experience without having to pay for it.
No.
You can see where the men are. No?
Yeah.
We don't want to pay for it, but we want it for free.
Yeah, but
So
you
I'm
see
losing
why I
out.
empower women
Yeah.
because women would pay and they would know how important it is.
Wow, that's very interesting. So, at what age did you start doing life coaching?
I am 34 now, so I started 3 years ago. Yeah. So I wouldn't say started this. You know, I grew up in the rural areas.
Can
you
I
know?
say something? Can I
Yeah.
take a wild guess? You got married first before becoming a life coach.
Yeah.
Aha, I
Yeah.
knew it.
You
Guys,
that.
Alisha
What does that have to do with?
I'm becoming a magician.
What does that have to do with?
You know, I said 2 plus 2. I thought, you know, you're not a life coach, but you are a life magician. So this woman decided to do life coaching for women specifically because she was going through something and what. Tell us about it. I'm listening.
Not really.
Just tell us about it.
I knew you were going to go
They're
there.
not watching.
Okay,
There
all
are no
right.
cameras. Just tell me.
No, it's not about that.
Okay.
I grew up in the rural areas, you know, Limpopo.
Yes.
The rurals of the rurals.
Yes.
So, you know, when you grow up in the rural areas, everything that happens in your life, it's somebody else's fault.
Where in Limpopo?
In Mulech,
Okay.
Mafokate, next to
Yeah,
where
but
Julius.
don't make it sound like rural.
It is
It's
ru-
next
it's
to
still
Seshego,
ru-
next to
but it's
Polokwane.
still rural.
You're the closest to
They don't
town
wanna
than most of
develop
us.
it.
Yeah.
It's still rural. But the mindset,
How long does it take you to go to town from Mulech?
about 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
And how long does it take me to go to Joburg? 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So
but
you are closer. Don't say rural. Guys, Mulechi, there's a team that beat Orlando Pirates called Magesi.
yes.
They beat Sundowns. They drew with Kaizer Chiefs. Chiefs still has to beat Magesi. And they're from Mulech.
I know that, but I'm talking about the mindset here.
Okay.
So I grew up in the rural areas where, in the rurals, the way we were raised, everybody, anything that happens in your life is somebody else's fault. You know, if you're not getting a job, if you're struggling, it's either your auntie or whoever. So when I was growing up, I used to have a lot of negativity. You know, I would think that I'm not good enough. You know, I would think that people are doing something, and I will tell you something you won't believe. There was a time you did auditions. You were with Chomi. There was a dancing audition. I was one of those people.
Downtown.
Yes. So I was one of those people that stood there. I think it ended 12 o'clock
Yes.
in the morning,
Like,
a.m. Yeah.
I'm glad you are
didn't-
one of those people that can help us document our lives. You know, when I say to people, I've done these things long before.
So I didn't get in.
We had our own Chigama
yeah,
before Chigama
I'm a good
could be
dancer,
Chigama
but I
Chiga.
didn't get in. So
Yes.
those were the things that were happening. You're like, am I good enough? Am I this and this? So when
I didn't judge you. I would have voted you
I
in.
know.
You see, it's not my fault. So Chomi, it's your fault. Guys, let's
I
blame
love
Chomi. Ooh, Bobby would have made it if it wasn't for, you know.
No, it's not her fault. But that's what I'm saying. When you grow up with a lot of negativities. So when I grew up, I started to read. I'm a person that loves reading. And when I started to read positive books, that's when I realized actually God put everything in our minds. We attract with our minds. Anything happens because of our minds. If you wake up in the morning and you have all the kind of negativities, tomorrow morning, bad things happen. If you wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and have all positivities, good things happen. So we don't realize as human beings that God put the power in our head. So whatever we're thinking, it's going to happen. So
Would I
thoughts
be wrong
become
to say
things.
that you got into that because of marriage?
It's both. Because marriage,
Ta-da!
you know, yeah, you're right. You know, when you're married, you get matured, right? So when you get matured, you change.
Challenges get
And
you
then
matured.
you run after wisdom
Would I be
instead
right
of...
to say challenges get you matured?
Exactly. Challenges, you know, remember, pain is meant to
Bobby, remember, I'm
mold
trying
you.
to also get married. I'm trying to get inspiration, man. What's wrong with you?
Marriage is good.
So let's,
it
viva
builds
marriage.
you.
Yes.
Yes. And it comes with challenges.
Yes.
Challenges comes with pain.
Yes.
And pain molds you. It changes you to be a greater person.
Break
So
it
you're
down
right.
nicely. You get into marriage and then?
And then, okay, the man that I'm married to is my first boyfriend. He was the first person I dated. Okay? Get into marriage. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Obviously, we date. You're still young. You don't have wisdom yet.
You're definitely not a 2000, eh?
No,
Yeah,
91.
no, I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
1991. Yeah, it's good. It's good. And then you grow up, then you start to see life. You want to become this, you want to be successful. He wants to be successful. You meet challenges, you know, you're thinking differently. He's thinking this way, you're thinking this way. Every relationship has challenges. But for me, the profession that I took because of how I was raised. I took it because of the people around me. You know, in the rural areas, I never used to have so many people to inspire me to become better, you know, to say, you know what, I can do this. But the more I read books, the more I realized actually everybody is destined for greatness. You can literally have anything you want. If you put your mind to it, if you know you're going to get it, if you believe in yourself, you'll get it.
Which
So,
profession is he in?
my husband.
Mm.
Oh my
And you
God.
laugh.
Are we here to talk about my husband? Or me?
No. I mean, I'm trying to understand the life of a life coach, so that I try and link the two together, and I can then start asking questions about the type
No.
of clientele, all those things. Remember, we have to go deep into the life of a life coach.
Yeah. No, he's self-employed. So he owns some of the businesses. He owns a hardware. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what he does.
And then, what were you doing by the time you got into that?
When I got into the marriage,
Yes.
I was working. I was
Okay.
once a customer service consultant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you can continue.
Yes. So what I do, I teach women. You know, I teach everybody mostly, but like I said, mostly it's women, how to actually tap into themselves, self-reflect. Most of the time things happen in our lives, we blame other people. We don't actually realize that things are happening in our lives because of us. You know, you have a good husband, you have a good boyfriend, but all you do is focus on the negativity. You have a job, but the thing you do, you focus on the negativity. I mean, you have an interview, going for an interview now, you're already telling yourself, I'm not going to get a job. Or you're at a workplace and then you're not getting promotion or getting a raise, you already say, no, they don't like me. So those are the kind of things that are actually building your life to fail. And most of the people, we don't realize that. So whatever you think you get, you are the creator of your own life.
Was it an easy transition moving from being, you said customer?
Customer service consultant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Into telling your hubby, into making up that mind and saying, I'm finally.
No, it was not. It was not.
I'm sure he didn't understand. I mean, I'm thinking, my pretty wife is going to be standing in front of these thousands and thousands of people and trying to tell them about their lives. No ways.
But I think he started seeing the transition through me. Remember, in order for you to do something, you change first.
You sound like you forcefully did it, though.
Maybe it's my voice, but I didn't. I didn't. I may sound like that, but I didn't. But he saw.
Can we relate how you broke the story?
Yeah, I didn't even bring the story to the table. Like I said, he
You
saw
just
me
went ahead and do it.
growing. You
Yes.
know, he saw how I tackled conversations. He saw how I handled problems and obstacles. You know, being positive, knowing that you will make it, knowing that it's not going to last forever. And that's when he saw, okay, this person is changing. Obviously, change is not easy.
What was one of those problems?
Anything that we have, it can be the bills that needs to be paid.
What was one of those problems?
It's the bills that needs to be paid.
How did you tackle it, and how was his response?
Obviously, men, when it comes to difficulties, you know, they want to solve it now. They want it to happen now. But me, I was just so calm and patient. And then he thought maybe I didn't care.
So, you know why I keep on
Yeah.
trying to link this with motivational speaking? When one wants to become a life coach,
Yeah.
do you go study for it, or is it one of those spiritual things like, you know, how pastors are?
I believe everybody's spiritual, but it starts, like I said, it starts with your own transformation. You spiritually, personally transform first, and then you follow the calling. And then after that, obviously, everything is a skill. Then you go study for it. Yeah.
So did you study for it?
Yes, I did.
How
I
long
did
does
it
it take?
online.
Yo.
It's actually an international Mind Valley. Do you know Mind Valley? So I studied there.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, reading, it's my hobby. I was reading. I learned. I mean, whatever the calling was telling me, I did it. Then obviously I have to learn more and know how to deal with different kinds of people.
The thing is, I'm asking these questions because there was a point in my life where I was going through a lot. You know, I would buy, there's a red and blue book called Power. It's written Power in the middle or something like that. And there was another brownish one called,
It's not the power of positive thinking.
even the, okay, let me just put it
Yeah.
like this. I've got more than 30 books,
Okay.
spiritual books.
Okay.
You
It
know.
might be that, yeah.
Yes, and I was taking
'Cause
a
it is
thing there and
spiritual
a
as well.
taking thing
Yeah.
there. I was taking a thing there. You know, but, you know, they help you.
Yeah.
Try to heal other people. But I'm trying to understand that if you are studying for life coaching, do they take you through those kind of things?
Remember, you do the self-study first. Like I said to you, I read. So you do the self-study. The studying for others is just to know the professional side of it. When you read books, it actually enhances what you already have within you. How did you feel when you were reading those books?
I felt good.
Yes.
I felt positive.
Because it's
I felt
within you.
inspired.
Yeah.
But you dump that book, the pain comes again. There's that brownish one, man. It's got some centennial thing.
It's not The
very
Secret.
The Secret.
You see.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But
some of them quote the Bible.
all of the books quote the Bible.
Okay.
They don't say it straight. Everything. The power of the positive thinking, the secret, the power of the subconscious mind
There's
is all
another
from the
one,
Bible.
7 something something.
7 rules of life, yes, all from the Bible. But the reason why you put the book down and then the page still comes back is because you don't practice that. You cannot just read only. You read and you try to live it. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, it makes
Yeah.
sense. I'm just thinking, I'm
So it's
relating
not
back-
like when you're in school, you cram. So that is life, that is spiritual, that is flesh. So you need to read and you need to practice. You start becoming that. So that's why I say my husband saw me becoming that. Not only reading, but growing and becoming a different person.
Wouldn't you then say that's why we call you guys motivational speaker? Because after reading, somehow it transforms you into somebody that talks too much. Because then you need to practice.
But you're right, and you can't keep
You need to
quiet, yeah.
practice. How do you practice? You suddenly start telling your friends,
And you can't
if
keep-
you drink that coffee, you know you need to spiritually digest
You start
it.
being
and,
that with your
you
own
know-
husband first.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then you're over.
And then what was his response
But that's
looking
the
at you?
thing. I think you become that. So you can't control that. Yeah, you can't. With your
Bobby?
family, with your neighbor, and whenever they're having a serious conversation, I mean a conversation that is silly, you can't even be silly.
Don't you think you guys study? to empower your partners first. And you study from your partner after empowering, overpowering him. You know that there's no other chakalas in this world that can defeat me. Because the most difficult client
It's
is
my
your
husband. Of course. But how can I go outside if I don't start with you inside? I have to start with you.
So le practice akaruna.
Hey, yeah. And then I go. Then when I'm done with you, I know I'm gonna conquer outside. There's nothing that is gonna stop me.
In this life coaching thing.
Yeah. But
So-
seriously, it is like that. Everybody in this world is born to be great. I just hope and wish that everybody could really believe that.
I know you won't reveal the type of clientele that you have.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you can
Yeah.
actually, you can just simply say it's this type of
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
people going
yeah,
through this
yeah.
and that, without even revealing names, unless
course.
if others allow you to
Yeah.
reveal names. But who's your clientele?
It's grief and pain. The ones that are going through grief and pain. Like I would say 99.9% of the people are going that. Everybody in this building is going through that. You have a pain of your own. I've got a pain of my own. They got a pain of their own. So the ones that I deal with is ones that can't be able to bear it or control it or even deal with it. But I believe that pain, it's good. I believe that pain is meant to change us. You know, as human beings, God created us to be certain people, right? At the moment, maybe we're not at that point where He wants us to be, where we can please Him. But He brings pain for Him to reveal that person that He wants in us so that He can use us for the right ways.
Wouldn't you compare your job with that of a pastor?
I'm not a pastor.
Yes, but wouldn't you align them?
I would say everybody's spiritual. Remember, we're spiritual
Yes.
beings, eh? We're not this. This is just a house. So we're spiritual beings. So the knowledge that I have and the feeling that I have and the calling that I have or whatever I am, everybody has that.
But wouldn't you also say you guys are one of the most important creatures because you bring peace in the land?
Everybody is.
I'm looking at pastors and churches and, their job is like tax-free because there's a certain role they play in the society.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you also feel like you belong there as well?
That is a big responsibility. I wouldn't say that. That is a huge responsibility. But
How different is it?
that is, people have too much expectations on you. Yeah, like people, do you know that I also do mentor and coach pastors? I do that. So
What you say to a
the
pastor,
challenge-
remember the Bible becomes that guiding book.
Yeah.
And then how do you guide somebody beyond the Bible?
Arthur, you've got a flesh, you've got a spirit. Those that I help are those that allow the flesh to lead. You have the manual, right? The rule book, the one that we need to read and find out about ourselves. So if you let pain control you that much, you forget that you need to let your spirit rule. And that's why you need somebody to intervene. Remember, God created man for men. So even if you're a pastor, you'll still go through challenges. If God gave you everything so that you can heal yourself, you'll be selfish. You'll end up thinking that is yours. So that's why there's other people to help you.
What are the processes of healing? I mean, I've been through a lot. And I would use those kinds of books. One, you might be shy to go to the public to vent out or say anything.
Yeah.
Normally, how long does it take to actually get somebody to the right position of saying, now I'm healed?
A healing is an eternal process. Doesn't end. It doesn't end. It's an everyday thing.
Aren't you saying that because you just want to keep on getting paid?
Oh my God! Oh, you're gonna make my clients run away, right?
No, but no. I'm just that type
My
of
clients
person.
are running away.
I'm just
Please
that
don't
type
run
of
away.
person.
I'm
Guys,
still
I've
here.
lived long enough, and I'm always alone.
No.
You rarely see me with somebody unless if it's one of my offsprings, my
Yeah,
children, or
yeah.
I think a lot.
Like you
I
s-
sit and I think and I
Which is
question
good.
the world.
Yeah.
And when I meet people like you that are doing this kind of jobs that you're doing,
Yeah.
I say, thank God. Now I can ask those questions.
But
that
it's
I always
good.
wanna
I like
ask.
that.
Because I watch you guys on TV. I admire you. I say, what? But now I'm sitting next to a life coach. I need to hit
Yeah.
hard.
No, it's fine.
So that I gain knowledge.
But don't chase my clients.
Okay. Clients.
I'm just kidding.
Clients, Bobby's going nowhere. Clients, you are like me, and I'm just trying to find out what they do.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yes.
You said you went through a lot. Have you healed?
Yeah, I think I'm healed.
Completely healed?
Yes.
Completely healed?
Yes.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Privately. I don't believe
You
that.
see, now I'm getting my free,
No, I don't believe
free
in that.
session. I'm getting my free session.
So healing is an everyday thing. You can never ever forget the pain that you went through.
Yeah.
The wound can go away, but you will never forget the pain.
Yes.
That's why I say
it's
healing-
important not to forget, because once you forget history.
That's why I say healing never ends. That's what I'm referring to. So first of all, in order for a person to be able to heal, firstly, you need to acknowledge what happened to you. Most people go through pain. They don't want to heal. They struggle with it because that person doesn't want to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I went through this. The first thing when they look at the mirror, they're like, I cannot believe I went through this. So once you acknowledge that you are a human being, it's okay to go through this. Accept that. That is the first step. But most people are living in denial. Like, no, it can't be me. I've got this reputation. I'm like this. No, I loved him. I did that. So you need to acknowledge that you actually went through that and there's nothing wrong with that.
What's the difference between a motivational speaker, life coach, and a counselor?
There's no actually a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the naming
isn't.
thing.
Yeah. Because the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding is the same. Yeah.
So do you have private clients, or do you get booked for seminars, or do you arrange your own seminars? Because I know I've seen one of my friends organizing some guy. There's some guy, Tony something. Is it Tony? Tony. There's a T name. Tony Gaston. There you go. Tony Gaston's come into this country. People pay 500 rand to go listen to him because they believe in what he's saying. Do you also do such
I
thing?
do that. So I do private sessions because for me, it is very important to go on the ground. Like the people on the ground they're the most important people in my life. People that cannot be able to get and access us. So I do private sessions. I also do events. I also do speaking at events that I'm hired for. So I expand. Yeah.
What are your rates? You sell yourself.
you asking me like, what are your rates? Like you're waiting for the answer.
I mean, guys, if you are like Arthur, your stress level is this, you know me, I told you I've been through a lot. So maybe my rate is higher.
No. I believe everybody is the same. So I also do charity work. I also give back. Where I have children in Eastern Side where I go, children that are struggling, that I would go and motivate them, heal them, coach them at a no charge. But with private sessions, I charge about $6.50 per hour. Yeah.
And you do it daily. It's your permanent job.
It's what I do every day.
But you also
I speak it, I drink it, I do events as well.
And
so
you also
events,
have radio and TV shows.
Yes. So on radio, because I believe communication is very important. I believe radio and TV is very powerful. So whenever we use it, we need to use it in a good way. So on my radios, I do talks like this. If somebody doesn't have money to go there and pay for the session, that's where I come in.
How long is your radio show?
It's about 3 hours.
What's the structure of a show like that? Do people call in and say, I've got a problem, Ausmaki stole my purse?
They don't do like that. What I do, I come with a topic, we talk about it. Somebody will call in, they will ask me a question, I will answer. So as you know, a speaker, 3 hours, it's not even enough for a speaker. So I will tackle the conversation. Maybe I will have about 3 segments. The first segment, we will talk about healing. The second one, forgiving. The third one, maybe I might want to receive messages and all that give people opportunities.
Are there phases of counseling a person?
There are.
What are they?
There are. You do have phases. Obviously, the first one, I need to listen to you. You need to tell me. Remember, counseling, you don't just go and say, up to Arthur, okay, what is your problem? Then you explain, I said, okay, do this. I don't tell you what you need to do. I create an environment for you to let me know how do you want to heal. So most of the people think that when you pay for a coaching session or a counseling session, it's somebody telling you what to do. No. You have that. You know how to heal. You just need somebody to create an environment where you are free to speak on how you want to heal.
And that's where I have a bit of a problem with the healing process.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys put me there and ask me about my life and drag it for a month, getting paid, and you just want me, like you just explained, to lead the process. you're just there to listen.
Of course.
Wow.
That's true. But let me tell you
Such
what...
a great job, though.
But
How much is it to go enroll for life coaching?
But
I need
let
to
me
do
tell
it.
you what makes it so unique and important. If your family members or your friends were able to do that, you were going to go to them and do that. But I have a special wisdom and understanding and knowledge that I'm able to create an environment for you that those people close to you can't. Yeah. When you're wounded, it's not easy to speak to your family.
Don't you think it's also a mindset thing?
Yeah.
You guys are sort of hypnotizing us because sometimes you've got a headache, right? And somebody gives you a seed, sunflower seed. They say, this is a pill.
Yeah.
You drink it and
Yeah.
you feel like something
Yeah,
is happening.
yeah.
Don't you think your processes also are like that, where just because I'm sitting next to Boby Nkoana, then somehow I'm going to think whatever she
Yeah,
says will help
yeah.
me.
I'm-
There's
I'm-
also
I'm-
a bit of that, right?
I'm really happy that you're making those kind of examples.
Yes.
Do you know you can go to a doctor now, he can give you a sugar pill. Doesn't mean that the sugar pill healed you.
Yeah.
When you went to the doctor, you had a faith that you will be healed. That's why there's doctors. Doctors are not there because they want to give you a pill. They're there because they want to install your faith. That's why you're paying that kind of money for me to install faith in you, for you to heal.
So you're faith healers.
Your faith heal you. I'm helping you to enhance your faith.
That's very interesting. Sure. Yo, guys, yo, you know, I'm trying to go deep and understand your role. And why is it that most of you guys are... Okay, let me know.
What are we? What are we? Finish it. What are we?
Let me not... But I just feel like there's a lot of emotional manipulation.
It's not manipulation. You don't understand you have the power to heal yourself. You don't understand what a great creation you are. So I'm just there as a person that
Bringing it
understands
out.
the mindset to bring it out. Nobody heals anybody. You heal yourself. Simple as that. And the sooner people realize that, the better.
Why do we pay you then?
I pay you. You pay me. Because I'm enhancing your faith. Yeah. Nobody can do that. But I said to you, if your family was able to do that, you would go and they would do that. But because you need me to enhance it, that's why you pay. I mean, not all your families are doctors.
I'm
Exactly.
defeated.
Yeah.
So the score is 2-0. Like you're winning. Or it's 3. Guys, what's the score? Like she's winning all battles.
I'm not winning the battles.
No, I'm
just
getting
trying
a
to
free
make
life
you
coach.
understand, yeah.
And you don't
And you're
see-
getting the free
yeah,
session is
you
not
don't
fair.
see-
Eh?
No,
You need
but
to
I mean,
pay.
that's the intention. The intention is for me to get a free session.
No, I see
And
through
I'm
your
using
eyes that-
myself,
yeah.
you know, as an example
Yeah.
to those people
I
out
see
there.
through your eyes that you're taking the tips.
Yeah.
And I'm charging you after this.
After
Yeah,
Okay,
the
tell
bill
us
is
about
coming.
your TV show then.
My TV show, it's on How TV, channel 267. It's called Mind Talk with Boby. So I bring women that are going through pain, that are wounded, to share their stories. And after that, I would call in professionals. You know, not only me. I believe a person needs to learn. So it will be psychologists, therapists to come in and just to give a session. Obviously, it's not that much, but they give tips to whoever is watching to know, if I'm going through this, what can I do about it?
Have you ever been in a situation where you had to save somebody that was like almost gone?
Yeah.
Because
So many.
most of us that have gone through these pains, we all know the
Yeah,
things we
yeah,
nearly did.
Yeah, so many. So many. It's amazing how just a talk can change a person's life. It's amazing how just a talk can actually remove a person from the darkness to the light.
Do you have to take a gentle approach or a harsh approach or a
You
bit
know,
of...
God made us with love. So there is no medicine or magic that works so powerful like kindness and love. Only that. So when you create an environment that is full of love and kindness and humility and peace, you can actually bring everybody from the hospitals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you go to church?
Yes, I do.
Which one?
Ke kena kereke Roma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you were raised like me.
Yeah.
I was once an altar boy.
Yeah. So it's not actually about even church. Everybody has this wisdom. It's God's wisdom. You were created from him. We were created from one spirit, one flesh. So everybody has it. It's either you go to church or you don't go to church. You have it. You lost it along the way because you ignored God when you were speaking.
At what point in life did you realize that I actually speak a lot and I must use this talent to go inspire others? Sorry.
I believe all the dancers speak a lot. I've never seen a dancer who doesn't speak. Yeah. So if you're a dancer, you speak. There is no way. So I realized this when I was in school. When we were doing debate, I used to love debate. Ooh, I loved it. So in primary, when we did debate, I enjoyed that. So that's when I knew, you know what, actually speaking will get me somewhere.
You love speaking. You love debating.
I love
but you just don't like the word motivational.
No, it is too personal. Like I said, people don't believe, on a serious note, people really, really don't believe that motivational speakers practice what they preach because they've been disappointed in so many ways. So that's why I actually don't call myself as a motivational speaker. I call myself as a speaker. That's it. You can call me a life mind coach, a mentor, TV presenter, a speaker. Because I don't exclude, I can speak. So I get hired to speak, and then I speak as a coach, I speak as a mentor. I speak as a radio presenter, as a TV presenter.
Let's say you wake up in the morning and you check your messages, and one of the messages says, "Hi, Mrs. Boby Nkoana. This is President Cyril Ramaphosa. I need counseling."
Yeah. Yeah.
What would go through your mind?
No, I would go and cancel him. He's a human being. Doesn't mean that he knows everything. I don't expect him to know everything. So
Would you go to the president like you would?
Of course. Why not? He's a human being, just like me and you.
But remember, you said you make them speak about themselves.
I
So
would
do you
go
go to
there.
the president and
I would go there proudly and have a sit with him and create an environment where he says things he never said to his wife.
hey,
It's my profession.
that's why I said you guys hypnotize us.
It's not.
You remember what I
hypnotism.
said earlier on? You hypnotize us.
No, I'm just making you realize your capabilities that you're not aware of.
Have you been in a situation where you just found this stubborn person where you feel like they're not coming out?
Yeah, that's very difficult. Because with me, I call myself a very, very highly positive person. I would never think they will never come out, but I would know that it will take time, but they will come out.
And that time you're charging 650 per session.
Yeah. Then if you have to give me 100, 650s, it's fine. But I'll make sure at the end of the day, you're out of there. Like, I'm a result-driven person. There is no way you can have a sessions with me or a program with me and then you don't get what you want.
So do you also read the books that we read, the spiritual books?
But I just told you the names. I do. And I know that all of those books were taken from the Bible.
And all of them say more or less,
The same thing. They're just coming in different ways.
are you do you have a certain category that you focus on, or is it just life coaching under general, or do you specialize in relationships, or you specialize in people going through pain for various financial reasons and all those things, or you just a life coach under general?
It's pain changes us. It's either in relationships, it's either at work, it's either personal. So I tackle pain because pain creates everything. In order for your business to flourish, it depends on your pain. In order for your relationship to survive, it depends on your pain. So pain changes you.
Would I be wrong to say that you thrive on people's pain?
Okay, I do because that's what I focus on and that's what I heal.
So when people are fine, you lose out, basically.
No, I don't lose out. They will need me because remember, I enhance the mindset. So it's not only just pain, but I enhance the mindset. So I make you see your capabilities.
Have you ever had a client that came back to you and said, "I'm who I am today because of..."
Yeah, there's so many. I can even show you in my phone. So many.
Oh, nice.
And for me, what I reply is, it's not me, it's you. But the truth is, it's not me. I'm not that kind of a person. I know well. I know very well. I know better. It's not me. It's them. I was just there to guide them and help them see what they're made of. That's it.
Would you write a book?
Of course, a beautiful one.
And how would you divide the sections?
The first one will be obviously my experience on how I got to be the person that I am, right? Secondly, will be guiding them on what to do in order to become that. And lastly, will be talk about the creator. All of this is the creator, which is God.
How do you make somebody believe in themselves?
Look at yourself in the mirror, you know. Think about the time that you were happy. There's somebody, everybody, there is a time where you were happy in your life. You know, most of us now, we're just living, you know. We're just existing, let me put it this way. But there was a time that you were happy. So I take that person through that time.
I'm your client, I'm a minister, I'm a politician. I know that there's close to 50%, you know, unemployment for the youth. And
true.
I'm expecting you to inspire me. How would you even inspire me?
First of all, you need to know people. A person who's going through a lot or a person who's unemployed think differently. Like, you cannot just come there and tell them how everything is possible. They will swear at you. You won't even get a chance to do that. So you need to work with them. Listen.
But how do you say to me that all is fine when I know that I'm leading?
I don't say to you all is fine.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't say to you all is fine. When somebody's in that state, you can't tell them all is fine. You need to show them that all is fine. So a session is not just having me and you a session here. We're starting a relationship. You know, I need to introduce you to the opportunities that you think are not there. But first of all, where do I start? I introduce those opportunities within you. So I cannot just come and say everything is fine. That person's going to tell you, but I don't have a job, I don't have food. What do you mean all is fine? So this is a journey. It's a lot of work.
How would you motivate a South African politician right now?
I wouldn't say I would motivate them. I would give them a lesson. I would actually say to them, go back to who you truly are. When you go back to who you truly are, when you find out the why you exist, why God created you, why you're here, you would understand that you're special and you will do what you're supposed to do.
Do you think they have time to think about that?
I'll make them have time.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Do you think currently they even have the time to think about who they are, where they come from?
They won't because they don't want to. They will if they want to. Remember, I can only do if you allow me. I can't do if you don't allow me. So if you really want change, you will allow me to give you change or to help you give yourself change.
I'm removing Boby, the life coach,
Yeah.
out of the scenario.
Yeah.
What's your current state of mind regarding South African politics?
Oof, that is a very, very... You're removing the life coach?
Yeah.
Hey, but I don't know if there's a...
No. We're going to... Because then I know where I'm getting to. Just tell me.
I can't, it's me.
Okay, be yourself then.
This is who I am.
Just respond then.
I'm a very, very honest person. You know, everything that is happening in this world is because of power. The only power, the only power, or power only belongs to God. So everything that is happening in this world, even our country, is because of power. We have lost touch of who we are, or who our brothers are, who our sisters are, that we are so hungry for power and not realizing that we'll never have power. So once we reflect and know why we're here, who we are, and we'll do good. So the politicians will do good. They need to know power is not something that you can ever have. You can spend so much money, you can do whatever, but the only fulfillment that you will get is out of giving back to the people that you love.
And how do you
Did I
make
answer
them?
you?
Yeah, no, but then how do you, as a life coach, then change that mindset if given an opportunity?
But that's what I just did now. You got hooked, so that's what I will do.
You'll get them hooked.
Yeah, you just got hooked, I saw it.
Do you now agree that you guys hypnotize us? Do you now agree that you guys hypnotize us?
I never said no, but I'm
How
trying
do you
to
even
explain
see
to
that
you.
I'm now hooked?
I know, I see it, am I right?
Because
that's-
you hypnotized me.
No, I didn't.
Guys, she hypnotized me. That's why
So
she
if I
knows
can
that
get you
she
hooked-
knows that now I'm at this element.
Because you know why?
Now you can hit hard and finish
It's
me off.
because I tapped into something that already exists within you. So it existed within them. So there's no way that they wouldn't get hooked because it's already here.
Wow. Do we have a lot of female life coaches or guys?
Females,
Why?
divine power, divine creature, divine wisdom.
I'm struggling to
God
understand this thing.
instilled a very, very divine wisdom that no creature in this world has. So we want to share. We are nurturers. We are multipliers. Whatever you have here, you just want to give it away. So that's why there's so many women life coaches, because we want to share and ensure that everybody grows.
And would you say your spouses are always supportive of your role?
Not always. Yeah. Not always. Not always. Everybody's like that. You know, the most people that will actually support you and uplift you are outside people. You know why? If they had the same mindset as I did, then they would be different. It's only about the mindset. So the people that actually have that mindset is people that we don't know. Even with you, not everybody in your family will have the same mindset. That's why you're the one who's doing that to make sure everybody develops. I don't know if it makes sense. Yes.
So how did you convince yourself that dancing is not for me?
Dancing it is for me. I can still dance.
Tata.
But life coaching. But life coaching leads.
Yeah?
It leads.
But don't you think you would be one of the coolest life coaches that gets in there with
Yeah,
an intro?
that does everything.
That gets there with an intro for
Yeah,
dance.
but
and-
that's why God gave me the gift of dancing, because of the energy. People that dances are very, very unique. They're very special because of the energy. The energy is different. Yeah.
Please invite me to one of your sessions.
I will.
I would
will,
love to
I
go
will.
to one of those sessions.
I will.
But I want those public ones.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
the private one. You know?
Why? Are you scared I might get something out?
No, but imagine I'm asking for a private session when I don't have any problem.
Okay. All right. No, that's good.
Like-
yeah, like you just
like-
pay for free.
Yeah, no, I went there where I just want to see what you guys do. I want to see people being hypnotized.
I will do that. I promise I'll do that.
Is there any other thing that you need to add to this? Because, you know, I had to ask my personal
Yeah,
questions. I'm
yeah,
sure there are
yeah,
other questions
yeah.
that are out there that anybody would want to ask. But if you're fine, maybe then.
No, not questions, but just to tell everybody, like we're having this conversation. For us, it might be lightly, but there's somebody that is watching that actually says, you know what, she's right. You know what, I can do this. You know, we are so broken. People are going through a lot because they don't believe in themselves, just because somebody's telling you not good enough. So somebody that is watching at this moment, I would like to say to them, you are destined for greatness. Like, God doesn't love the other person different from you. He loves us all. We're from the same flesh, the same spirit. It's just up to you to tap within and know that you can do it. God gave us everything. There's nothing more for him to give us. It's here. So whoever's telling you can't do it, whoever's telling you that your mom never made it, whoever, tell them, you know what, it's fine, but go out there and get it. That's it.
And if I'm trying to give up, how do you motivate me?
Don't give up. What do you mean giving up? Giving up is like you dying. You want to die. You
No,
did.
I'm trying, year in, year out. I'm trying to get this job. I've got my degree, I've got my diploma, but it's just not happening.
But you need to know that the greatest things take time. The most amazing, greatest things take time. The reason why it takes time is because God wants to mold you to that person that will actually handle that, will actually keep that. Because if he gives it to you now and you're not the person he wants, you will destroy it. So the waiting and not getting is not because he doesn't love you. It's because he wants to fix something within you before you get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot. And we're going to be calling you too many times because there are problems in this world. Problems
you.
in this world.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be on a Zoom,
Yeah.
whether it's going to be on the phone, we're going to be calling you
No, it's
once
my
in a
pleasure.
while,
Yeah.
you know, whenever we talk to the guests,
No, I'm happy.
because they do confess certain things, and
No, I'm happy.
we feel like we need a Boby Nkoana, each one of us in our lives.
No,
Thanks,
it's a
Boby.
pleasure. Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.